right, guys, welcome back to another Giorgio Says video. My name is Giorgio. And before we get into today's topic, I just want to ask that you guys hit subscribe and like, and also hit that notification bell because I'll be bringing you guys the latest in the Bravo Housewives tea on a daily basis. So today's topic is actually really funny to me because everything is just always such a full circle moment. But Allison DuBois, who recently has been popping up a lot more lately, at least on my FYP on TikTok, and I've seen her a lot more on Instagram. I believe she has a podcast. But the last time we left Allison, she was at Camille's infamous dinner party from hell from Real Housewives of Beverly Hills season 1. And there was one particular moment where Allison kind of reads Kyle a little bit. And I don't mean that in like a shady way, but it came off shady during the episode. But she basically tells Kyle that she will not have much in common with her husband once their kids get to a grown-up stage in life. She also said that Mauricio would not emotionally fulfill her, and that clearly pissed Kyle off. And I think she kind of held on to that resentment from that point because Allison gave a little bit of a background story to the latest thing that happened between her and Kyle, which was, I think, about almost 2 years ago at this point. But when Allison wrote her latest book, I believe it's called, let me just make sure because it's a really simple name, Love Can't Tell Time. Now, Allison describes the book cover because I think it's key in this whole thing. Because when you look at her book cover, it almost looks like, no shade to Allison, but it looks like a student put it together who had never put a book cover together. It's just a picture in black and white of her and her husband kissing. The title's very basic. The background's very basic. It's nothing that, in my opinion, screams, please buy me. But I don't think that was the goal with this book. At least I hope not. But the book is called Love Can't Tell Time. And Allison told David that when the book was released, that Kyle jumped into her DMs and threw some shade and asked the question, does he emotionally fulfill you, Allison? And obviously, she said that because she was being petty. And I have to say, I love a petty Kyle. I really do. I've been a huge fan of Kyle's, not so much as of late, but overall, I love a petty Kyle. Okay. I love a freak out Kyle. I love a Kyle that's ready to go in on someone and let them have it. So this was one of those times. And so obviously, I found that to be very humorous, but it was really interesting because it's as much as Allison says that, she lives rent free in Kyle's head. Allison, we could kind of say the same thing on your side. I mean, I get it. This is something that's going to get brought up in interviews when you go on people's podcasts. But if I'm honest, if you really don't care either way, then why are you still talking about this dinner party from hell? Because it seems like the last couple of podcasts she's been on, she's fine to talk about it. It's not like something she's moved on from, clearly. I don't even think she's friends with Camille at this point. But nonetheless, she doubled down in this interview with David that her reading was about Kyle, because there was some indication, at least from Camille's side, that she felt, and maybe this was partially to protect Allison and Kyle in that moment, but she kind of alluded to the fact that maybe Allison was picking up on her energy and everything that was going on with Kelsey, and that's what she was really referring to. So that wasn't really about Kyle. But Allison clarified and said that no, it was absolutely about Kyle when I was feeling that and seeing that, because it wouldn't have been about Camille because I already knew about what was going on between Camille and Kelsey. So she was adamant that, she stood firm on that reading that she gave Kyle almost 10 years ago. So it's really interesting because there's been reports lately, obviously alleged that, Mauricio had a fling or maybe was having a fling with Dorit. And obviously, Dorit and PK have laughed the whole thing off and said it was disgusting and yada, yada, yada. But this isn't the first time that Mauricio's been accused of stepping out on his wife. And Allison said something really interesting. She said that it may be that Kyle's focus and Mauricio's focus is just about building that financial wealth together. And so maybe some of this is an understanding. Maybe, I mean, I'm just taking that away from what she's saying, that if this is the priority, if money is the priority, then these other things don't really matter, because public facing, they will show us that they're, a strong, united couple. And they do a really good job of that, even on the show. They're very much, partners in crime. They're great parents, and I'm not discrediting any of that. But I do think that there's a lot that we don't know that goes on behind their closed doors. We also don't get to see anything really play out in terms of a storyline for Kyle when it's in regards to her family. Obviously, they're not going to talk about any of the allegations that have come out in the past few years about Mauricio stepping out. So, but that's not shocking to me, because, this is Kyle's franchise. She started it. So I'm pretty sure she's got really strong connections in the editing room. So very interesting stuff. But I want to know what you guys think, because I posed this question to my TikTok users. Do you think Kyle was being petty? Was it warranted? And the second point to this is, would you entertain having Allison DuBois come back for another cameo? I mean, wouldn't it be really interesting if she could read Erica or maybe some of the other ladies? Or what if we could just have Allison kind of give us a read on this whole Aspen situation with Kathy? Because I think that could help clarify some things, but I don't know. Let me know down in the comments what you think. And before I sign off of this video, please don't forget to subscribe and like if you haven't already, and make sure you also hit that notification bell so you don't miss any time I upload. I'll talk to you guys on the next one.